budget besties, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to do my version of a beginner-friendly tutorial on how I film, edit, and upload cash stuffing videos. If you have been wanting to start a cash stuffing or budgeting channel, this is for you. I'm not a professional by any means, but what I do is very simple, it works, and it gets the job done. So today, I'm just going to share my real process. I don't use any fancy equipment. I actually film with my iPhone 14 Pro Max, which I'm filming on right now. I utilize my Apple Watch. I also have a Samsung SSD card that keeps me organized and it stores my data. I use Canva Pro as my editing tool. I have a mini mic and I have a magnetic phone stand that helps me get this job done. To keep things simple and easy to follow, I'm going to break down this video into a few parts. I'm going to show you how I film my videos, how I edit them using Canva, and finally, how I publish and upload them to YouTube. So let's talk about how I film my videos. I actually utilize both my iPhone and my Apple Watch to help me with that process. My Apple Watch serves as a second set of eyes. It helps me to stay in frame, and it also helps me to start, stop, and pause my videos without having to get up or move to do so. Before I start filming, I like to do a few things. I like to do a test shot just to make sure that the content will be in frame and the lighting looks okay. And I also like to make sure that the lens on my camera on my iPhone is clean, just to ensure that we have as clear of content as possible. The room I film in is an extra bedroom that used to be a guest bedroom in my home, and I just have a simple setup. I have a desk, I have my cash tray, I use natural lighting, although I do have a ring light on standby. And I have a phone holder on the same side as the desk as I am. My phone holder is kind of cool in that it is magnetic and I don't have to clip it. And that's pretty much it with the room that I film in. Nothing too special, nothing to write home about. In my phone settings, when I am filming, I do film in 1080p with the 60 frames per second option. I don't use 4K. This is a faceless video. The only thing you see are my hands. And so I didn't see the need to just take up so much storage when filming something so simple. Now, when it comes to the live filming of my videos, I do film in segments. I used to film all the way through, but what I do is I utilize my Apple Watch. I stop between segments. And when I mean segments, my intro is a segment, my wallet is a segment, and my binders are their own segments. And when I'm filming, I try to remember to keep these segments 5 minutes or less because Canva does not like a large file being uploaded. Now, that being said, if I do choose to film all the way through, I just clip my video down on iMovie, but this can be done in CapCut as well. Now that I have explained my filming, just know that the first time you film, it is going to feel so weird. Sitting at home, talking to yourself, but over time, it does get easier. And I try to always treat it like I am speaking to a live audience from the beginning to the end. So we just went over how I film my videos, and now we are going to go over how I edit my videos. Now, I do use Canva Pro, and this is the home screen. And to start a new video, you will come to the left side and hit this plus sign here. And you are wanting to hit this landscape 1920 by 1080px, and that is the format for YouTube videos. The first thing you would notice is this blank canvas here, and the first thing I like to do before I start my project is to title my videos, And you do that by clicking this box that I'm typing in at the very top. Now, we need to start a video because we have nothing here. And we're going to come over here to uploads on the left. And to upload your files, you will hit this upload files button. And that's how you will get your videos to pop up on your screen. Now, I will tell you, it does take some time for your files to load, but we're going to use some old clips that I have in here. And so I clicked on videos, and I'm just going to drag a few clips over. So what you would do is you're going to click and drag into the timeline. And we are going to click one more and drag it next to it, okay? When you click and drag your clips, you would notice that you do have a timeline and you have a playhead on the top. You can drag it all through your video if you need to. Right here is the beginning time of your video, and right here is the end time of your video. Now, typically I only drag over one clip at a time because I actually capture these numbers here in the timeline. And I also like to edit one at a time. It just makes it easier for me to catch my mistakes. But the reason that the timeline is important to me is because the end of one clip is the start of the next segment. And I like to enter my own chapters within YouTube. And so I like to capture those as I go. Also, this timeline can be beneficial if you want to capture a timestamp for where you may want to enter a card when you're in YouTube Studios. Next, I want to show you how to edit something out of your video. So let's just say you have something in your video and you really just don't want it in there. So you will have to isolate it from the rest of your segment. So let's just say I wanted to isolate here. So as you can see, I'm clicking on the playhead at the top and dragging. You will right click with your mouse. You would click split and make sure this is highlighted, and you're going to hit delete or backspace. Since we have an isolated scene, let me show you also how to speed up a clip. Same process. If you didn't want to speed up this whole segment and you wanted to just speed up just one part of the segment, you would split that clip and you will come here to the top, click on speed. Now 1 is normal speed, and you can go up to 2 times the speed. And that's how you will speed up a clip. Or if you wanted to slow it down, you will go the opposite way. Now let's put it back in the middle. And so that's how you will speed and slow down a clip. So I want to undo this split right here. All right. The next thing I want to go over with you is how to add text to your screen. You will come over here to the left and you will click onto text, and you have a few options on how it will come onto your screen. I always choose this middle option here, and you click it and you see it pops over here on your screen. Now, you can keep this same formatting, but I like to change the font. I like to change the font size from time to time. I definitely changed the color because I prefer white text, but you have an array of options. I also like to come over here to effects. I always choose outline, and I like my outline to be done in black, but you can choose any color. You can increase the thickness of your outline or you can decrease it. You also can animate your wording, and you have a lot of options here. I tend to opt for burst or shift. And you can also move your text up and down by clicking right here. And I don't know if you can see this purple line that popped up vertically, but that lets you know if your clip is still centered or if your wording is still centered. So I'm going to type something in here. I'm going to type test. Now, if I wanted test to show up longer in a clip, I will click down here and drag. If I want it to be shorter, I will move it in. If I wanted it to extend to the other clip that's not attached, I will click the opposite end and drag it this way. If I wanted to completely move it, I will click and drag my mouse to move it where I want it. And that's how you work with text on your screen. The next thing I would like to show you is transitions between clips. So these are two separate clips, and if you hover in between any two clips or segments, you will see that you have this add button for a transition. Just click on that, and right now we don't have a transition, but you have several options in how you want to transition in between your different segments or scenes. So the next thing I want to show you, I'm going to come to my folder. From time to time, I like to talk about my Fetch rewards, and I uploaded this into Canva, and it will show under images if you uploaded anything. But I like to add my Fetch code into Canva, and you can click and drag around the screen. You can move it on your timeline here. You can make it longer, you can make it shorter. Let's click it. You can animate it, and you can choose any option that you will like. Let's say I wanted something to pop up on my screen, but I don't have a picture for it. You can come to elements and search. And so I originally searched for YouTube subscribe. I'm just going to click that, but you can type in this box, and I want the graphics. Anytime you see this crown, this just lets you know this is a benefit for the Canva Pro membership. So we're going to hit see all, and I'm going to see, I think I like this one. I'm going to drag this over here. I want to move it to a different spot on the timeline so that it's not stacked with other stuff. Okay, so let's click on it. And again, you can click and drag how long you want it on the timeline. You also can animate this. I want to animate it to where it looks like it's moving. So let's use this post here. Let's click over here. Let's say this is too big. We can click on the corners and make this smaller. And you also can click over here and you can turn it. And so that's a way to utilize elements. There are a few things that you can search, but I wanted to give you the knowledge that it is there for you. In addition to elements, we also have templates, which is located right above elements. Templates can be a few things. You can use a template for an intro or an outro slide. You can also use templates to find thumbnails. So let's say YouTube thumbnails here, and you can click through here and see what you like, and you can edit these thumbnails however you may choose. Just remember, if you have the free version, to pick something that is on that free plan. If not, you're going to have to upgrade to use the Canva Pro stuff. The last thing I want to show you is audio. So I'm going to click audio down here. Canva does have an audio library. I'm going to be honest, I would err on the caution with this because I have seen where it has copyright strikes when it is uploaded into YouTube, but you don't have to use their music. You can come here to uploads and you can download your own audio file and it will pop up in here. And if you wanted to drag your own audio file, let's say I wanted to do this, you can drag it into your timeline and you can move it where you want it. You can make it shorter. You also can control the volume. I would suggest, if you like music to play throughout your video, to not blast it in people's ears. And if you are talking, you don't want the music to overpower you. So how you have music play gently is drag this on over to the left and listen to it to make sure you can softly hear the music. I want to add one more thing, and it can pertain to using music in a sped up section. So if I had a sped up section and I also had music playing on that sped up section, you would need to mute that part of the video so that you don't hear the talking. And you will have to, what I showed you before, you would have to split the video And we're going to split this side. And you will have to come up here. You have to click on here, come up here to volume, and you will have to mute your videos. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, write me in the comment section. Before I download my video to my computer to upload into YouTube Studios, I like to check my work. I like to watch my video a few times. You can watch it right here, or you can come down here to this preview button. When you have watched your video from the beginning to the end and you are satisfied, you can come out of this screen here, close that, and you will come to the top and you will click download. When you hit download, it's going to take a minute to download. And as you can see down here, it is downloading. So I will come back when this has completed. As you can see, this has downloaded. So what we're going to do now, we're going to hop on over to YouTube Studio so that we can begin publishing our video. When you get into YouTube Studio, you're going to click on your profile and click YouTube Studios. And over here, you're going to hit create and upload video. Now, I'm going to upload the file that we just saved and I'll be back. Okay, our test video has loaded into YouTube Studios. Let me point out one thing. When you come into YouTube Studios and you upload your video, you may not have any of this in here if you did not customize your settings to do so. So typically for most people, this may be blank. And if you would like for me to show you how to set your customizations, let me know and I can do that at another time. So what I typically do is I fill in where I have parentheses on my videos, and then those numbers that I captured in Canva, those timestamps, I am going to fill them in right here, and I'm going to scroll. The next thing I will see is my thumbnails section. You can create a thumbnail, and that can be done in Canva. It also can auto-generate, and apparently you can put 2 in here and have your viewers decide. I also, depending on the videos, I will add them to the playlist I have created already. If you don't have a playlist but you want to start a playlist and this is your very first video, you can hit this down arrow and there's going to be a plus button and you can create a playlist right there. Next up, you're going to see some of the mandatory stuff, okay? So I have my YouTube Studios auto-generate. My content is not made for kids. I'm not doing anything raunchy, but I don't want anybody to say my kids are watching your video when we just didn't like it, okay? So I'm just gonna say it's not made for your kids. Let's see, if your videos need to be age restricted, that's an advanced setting, but that doesn't apply to me. But it's important to say that your content is not altered. I also like to uncheck this box here because I create my own chapters and I do not allow auto places. This right here, these are your tags. I have my settings again, set this up, but you can type in this box as you go. You don't have to do that. Now, this part right here is optional. I like to select my language, and I do speak English, and I'm in the United States. And I click this option that says this has never been aired in the US. And I do that because I create my own captions. So that's it. And this section is called the details section. I'm going to click next and it's going to take us to the next part, which is video elements. Okay, so now we are in video elements. This whole section is optional, but if you want to add your own subtitles, your own captions, you will come here and click add. I do not have my drive plugged in, but if I did, I will already have a file to load in here and I will hit upload. When I do so, everything I'm saying will pop up and down this screen. I'm just going to exit out. I also like to add an end screen, so I will hit add. And you have a few options to pick from here. The last thing I like to do, I like to come over here and add some cards. And I'm going to click add. and I'm going to go to the spot where I want to add a card. If I didn't collect that in Canva and I wanted to add a card, you can click play and listen and stop at the spot you want to add your card. I'm going to click add. I'm going to add a video. And if I didn't want it to show like that, I will come to this teaser text and maybe write something like watch me. And if I was curious if this worked, I will hit play and it pops up. I will save it and move on. All right, so now we're going to go to the third screen. I'm going to click next. Okay, our third screen is our initial checks part. It checks for any copyright issues and to make sure that you have not violated any of the community guidelines. And these three green checks here say, hey, you're good to go. Your video has no problems. If there was a problem, you would definitely know. So since we don't have any issues, we're going to go to the last part. We are on the visibility part of loading our video. So this is the finale, okay? I personally prefer to schedule my videos, but some people make their videos go public immediately. They like to keep it at private. I have mine auto set to unlisted until I'm ready to schedule within YouTube Studios. And so when you want to hit schedule, you'll hit this drop down button, a calendar will pop up. It will ask you the time and the date. I'm not clicking it because I do not want to accidentally schedule this, okay? And then you will schedule your videos. So when you are ready to schedule your video or make it go live, whatever you choose, you will come down here and you will hit save, and your video is scheduled or is going live, whatever you choose. And so that's it. So this was my simple and easy process. I hope it was helpful. I did create cards for your convenience in case you want to rewatch anything. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section and I will answer them to the best of my ability. If you are watching this and you're trying to start your journey, or you have started your journey and just wanted to pick up on some different tips, let me encourage you that it gets easier over time. Just stay patient, stay consistent, and remember, you got this. Also, I would probably be consistent as far as picking a day of the week that works best for you. I know for me, once a week is good enough. And that's my chance to tell you that I post every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and turn on all bell notifications so you never miss your girl again.